Turn and face the strange changes. Alright friends, how's it going? Welcome back to Football Therapy with me, your host Jan. I do hope you lot are all doing well today, dear sweet friends. Namaste. Really do hope that. Welcome back to Chelsea News, the daily, that's right, every single ruddy day series where I see what's being said about the Blues, giving you my opinion on it, but hey, of course, more importantly, asking for yours there, dear sweet viewer. You sitting there, yeah, you with a cup of coffee. Today I'm citing an article from Football.London talking about pre-season formation changes, certain players starting that weren't starting before, certainly in those positions, oh interesting, as well as loanees, academy players. We can expect an exciting pre-season that might look a little bit different, that could take us on into the beginning of the next campaign and beyond. It's going to be fun, so drop a like to show your love and support. Consider subscribing to this channel if you're new, or indeed you just haven't subscribed yet, though you are a returning visitor. So please do subscribe, god damn you. Bell notifications icon. I do want to urge you quickly to go check out Football Yannick, my other football channel, where I do daily content as well regarding big transfer stories and the Euros. It's ruddy wicked. Go click the link in the description and subscribe to that to do us a favour, friends. Alright then, bang bang, let's get into today's video. So like previously stated, I'm going to be citing for an article of Football.London, who are of course always reporting on Chelsea Football Club. Now, pre-season has started officially. Thomas Tuchel has moved to London permanently. Now he's got his new deal. Loanees are back, the academy stars are knocking about. Tuchel's got big decisions to make regarding how he wants to go about his business moving forwards. Yes, of course, transfers are massive and we will be monitoring any and all movements regarding that. Of course, there's rumblings with Erling Haaland, there's talk of midfielders and centre-backs, and even right wing backs. You can keep updated on all that stuff here on Football Therapy, so make sure you're all subscribed. So I'm going to take you through this article of Football.London, stopping along the way, talking about certain players who I like, who I think could be relevant for this season moving forwards, and similarly who I think have absolutely no place at Chelsea. So let's take a deep breath in all together, and out. Relax, centered, chi, football. Let's get into the article. 4 key decisions facing Thomas Tuchel and Chelsea's pre-season campaign kicks off. The Blues players will be filtering back through the doors at Cobham throughout this week, and so will Thomas Tuchel. Thomas Tuchel will be filtering himself through the doors? Weird. Chelsea's players will begin returning back through the doors at the Cobham training ground throughout this week as pre-season gets underway. I'm actually really excited. I never get excited for pre-season because actually this time around we're playing Arsenal and Tottenham, so that is a little bit exciting there. We're not playing, you know, some weaker teams in weaker leagues or going over to Australia, you know. We're actually playing London derbies and we're the champions of Europe. So what's there not to be excited about? And of course, fans are back in stadiums. Life is going back to normal. Brilliant! 7 Blues players will be away with their country for the Euros, so won't be returning to the training ground until early August. Likewise, Thiago Silva with Brazil, while 8 of the other 9 players called up for their country will be having a small, well-earned rest after their extensions this summer. Yeah, of course, not only has it been, you know, going to tournaments and stuff, but it's been a really compact season, and yes, players do need to rest, so that's important. And Thiago Silva's reached the Copa America finals, so that's ruddy wicked. Imagine if he wins that as well as the Champions League. It will probably be the best season of his career. I know he would have won countless domestic trophies in one year at PSG, but to win, you know, the Copa America and the trophy that's eluded him, the Champions League, in one season, I reckon that would be his best. And it's all because, well, it's not all because, but it's largely because he joined Chelsea. And on that, players having a rest, we're really going to see an interesting pre-season because it's more than ever, he's going to have to, the Chelsea manager will have to call from the larger pool of players that's available to him, such as the loanees and the Utes blood, and put them together and we can see an exciting new team that could give him developing new ideas for the upcoming season. The other player, Billy Gilmour, has already completed a loan switch to Norwich City for the 2021-22 campaign. A crop of youngsters are expected to make up the numbers in the early going, as Football.London revealed 11 days ago that the likes of Conor Gallagher, Xavier Umber and Dujon Sterling are set to be involved. Returning loanees Malang Sarr, who opted out of the Olympics duty with France this summer, as well as Tamuri Bakayoko and Ross Barkley, are all expected to return this week as well. Cool, so when it comes to youngsters, really excited personally to see the likes of Xavier Umber, who for me just looks like he's built for English football, and he's like a technically excellent, I was about to say goalkeeper. I've got that like brain fart moment that F1 interviewer had when they went to Timo Werner. Chelsea and Germany's goalkeeper! No, not everyone's a goalkeeper. Xavier Umber though, exciting young centre-back. Of course, a lot of people are interested in seeing Conor Gallagher. Not only is he an exciting and intelligent number 10 and midfielder, and apparently can defend in a West Brom Big Sam system, he's apparently a model as well. Check out these pictures of Conor Gallagher doing his thing on his time off. Surely you want that boy in the team. He can just handsome his way into the 18-yard box. No? No. Malang Sarr, Bakayoko and Ross Barkley is a different one. You would imagine Ross Barkley would be starting pretty much all pre-season games because he is like a Premier League level player. Thomas Tuchel will want to have a look at him, you know, he'll want to have a good look at him. Whether I think he would consider him for the season, probably not, but you'd imagine it would be a good like showcase for another loan or even a sale this summer. See what happens there. Some people are actually thinking Tamuri Bakayoko is a player that Thomas Tuchel might like, and maybe, I mean, he was highly rated for a long time, and you know, did well at Monaco and Milan and stuff, though I think he probably is pushing back for a move back to Serie A to go and play at Milan. Malang Sarr is an interesting one. Of course, we bought him, or we got him on a free transfer. We signed him, he went on loan to Porto. Didn't really set the world alight. I think he's probably destined for another loan, hopefully a better loan for the Frenchman. I can't imagine him knocking about and staying in the squad personally. Of course, one player people are excited to see what Thomas Tuchel thinks of up close is Ruben Loftus-Cheek, a player that the Chelsea manager has talked about in a press conference, saying, you know, he's seen him at youth level, he watched him, he thinks he's very good. I think while he was at Dortmund, he was looking at him. I understand that he didn't set the world alight at Fulham, but he said it would be unfair for him to judge him on that. He wants to see him up close in training. So who knows, I reckon personally, out of all those players, those midfielders, your Barkleys, your Bakayokos, I think Ruben Loftus-Cheek has the greatest chance of maybe impressing Thomas Tuchel enough to keep him in the squad with a promise of some rotational minutes, giving him the opportunity to, who knows, maybe even play himself into the team. That would be really interesting. Thomas Tuchel will also be back at the training ground later this week. Now that he has moved to London permanently from Paris with a 2-year contract extension he signed in the wake of the Champions League final over the win of Man City in May. That's really good because he was dropped in at such a peculiar circumstance in, you know, the middle of last campaign, and probably was just staying somewhere on that Cobham maybe. Now he's moved permanently, hopefully with his family, because that would be really nice for him. He can feel more settled, more relaxed, and really get to work at winning that goddamn Premier League. Oh yes. The early stages of pre-season will see the players undergo lots of testing to ensure they are ready to crack on with getting back into the swing of things, as well as training sessions as well. But what are the decisions facing Thomas Tuchel as he prepares for the season ahead? Right, here we go. Let's see what the article says. 5 at the back or new formation? Tuchel exclusively played 5 defenders since he arrived at the club to replace Frank Lampard, 2 wing-backs, 3 centre-backs, which paid off as his side conceded just 16 goals in 31 games under his watch. Yeah, and also West Brom tax in there as well. What did we ship 5 goals to them? Ugh. Will the German head coach stick with that formation to start the new season, or will he fancy a change? He will certainly be taking a close look at his players in pre-season to see if he could squeeze in an extra midfielder or attacker and revert to 4 defenders in front of Edouard Mendy. Indeed, there has been a lot of talk that he might train a back 4 system. The fact how he's been looking at a new right wing back makes you think, oh yeah, he definitely wants to stick with the back three, look how well it's worked. But I think, personally, I would like him to train a back four system as well, as an alternative for certain games. Any youngsters who could set up? All indications are that Thomas Tuchel will give youth players a chance to impress him, which is good news for the likes of Dujon Sterling, Xavier Umber, Conor Gallagher, Malang Sarr and others. Whether they will stick around to be named in the Premier League squad for the season remains to be seen, but Tuchel won't be afraid to promote youth if he thinks they can step up. He did it with Christian Pulisic at Borussia Dortmund. Yeah, it's good to know we've got a coach that will look at the youth, but he's got so many good youth players and loan players, it's going to be very, very difficult for these youngsters to get a slot in the squad. Assessing the loanees. Ruben Loftus-Cheek will be one player desperate to make an impression on Tuchel during pre-season in what could be his final chance to prolong his career with the club. He's under contract until 2024, having penned a new 5-year deal in 2019, but hasn't been able to replicate his form prior to his devastating Achilles injury 2 years ago. Yeah, very sad for Ruben Loftus-Cheek. It does feel like his last chance, doesn't it? So, fingers crossed for him. Ross Barkley will be another player eager to show what he can do after a tough loan spell at Aston Villa, while it could also be the last chance saloon for Tamuri Bakayoko. Tuchel will rule over the players he already has at his disposal before deciding whether to go in terms of transfers, so it's a big week for those players with a point to prove. Yeah, and like I said before, I really don't see Bakayoko getting into the side. Who knows? I'm open to it. Maybe he does. His starting centre-backs. Andreas Christensen has been in the form of his life in 2021, but was behind Thiago Silva in the pecking order towards the end of the season. If the Brazilian was fit, then he would play. Antonio Rudiger is enjoying a renaissance too, and Cesar Azpilicueta led the team superbly as the third centre-half. Reece James is also played in the central role, and then there's Kurt Zouma to consider. Don't forget Mark Guehi either, who is returning from the capital from a superb loan at Swansea. Yeah, Mark Guehi is a big serious player to consider from Thomas Tuchel. I think really an interesting point as well is Reece James has played right centre-back, and there's been articles suggesting that Reece James, his future lies at right centre-back, perhaps as the natural successor to Cesar Azpilicueta, who's going to be 32 soon? I'm not saying 32 is old for a centre-back, of course not, but if they're in this system requires a little bit more mobility and getting forwards, maybe Tuchel prefers Reece James there, or indeed maybe he just prefers the player there. Still, I don't know if this is certain, but there has been reports saying that's where he sees his future. So, Reece James centre-back makes more sense while you're, going for a right wing-back. Look man, there's loads and loads of players to consider for pre-season and, new formations, new tactical approaches with a new pool of players. Knowing Thomas Tuchel being a proper football nerd, he's probably looking at all of them now, statistically on paper, saying, right, I'm going to try him there, I'm going to try him there, and let's see what we can do. And it's going to be exciting. Personally, I'm really looking forward to it. Let me know what you guys think. Comment down below on all the players or the players that you want to talk about that I've spoken about. Comment down below. I want to see the general opinion. Drop a like if you've enjoyed the video. Sub if you're new. That's it. Enjoy the football. I'll see you later.
You ain't so tough with that bad boy tuck. I'ma get it how I'm living. I'ma walk the walk. Outline my lines. I rap through thought. Body bag the verse. Outlined in chalk. In my life seen trouble, hustle on the double, silence on the trigger like my pick got a muzzle. Yo chick like to guzzle, bad boy stay in trouble. I only love this paper, sorry I don't. I laugh me, baby.